Hey y'all, hey, it's a new episode of Bonafide Her podcast featuring QuAndre Dixon.
What's good, Ash? What's good?
You know we blessed to be alive. We lit with a
For
passion.
sure.
Hello.
Hello. For sure. For sure. It's a blessing to be on your podcast. I've been watching everything you're doing. I'm proud of you. Keep it up. It's humbling to be up here, and um, I'm excited, man. Let's get it rolling. I'm excited. I'm definitely excited talking to one of the basketball gurus herself.
Hey, well, I tell you, I already cried already earlier before this week, so I'm gonna save these thug tears after the podcast.
For sure.
But let's get it going. So, QuAndre, can you tell us how you got to where you are right now, like your sports journey to how it transitioned to where you are right now?
Um, Long story short, just I was a late bloomer, moved from Brooklyn, New York, came down here to Wilmington, basically had to earn my respect in a lot of ways. Didn't have the high school career that most people had, but just because of academic stuff and things that being a late bloomer really. Um, I actually earned my scholarship, my college scholarship after my senior year. Actually earned my college scholarship at Impey Park. So I was playing out there at Impey Park, and they came down to recruit somebody, top 10 JUCO in the country. TCI, Technical Career Institute, was in Manhattan. Had 3 or 4 Division I transfers. Guys came out of there all league, went to the Big East and things of that nature. But um, very stacked team. Earned my scholarship there. They see me playing, wanted me, flew me out. Then drove up there. Left after a semester, played a little semi-pro professional ball. Then, and God blessed me in a way, in an unconventional way, and ended up playing overseas professionally, and Aguas Calientes and other places as well. So my journey wasn't the most conventional journey, or so to speak, the ways that everybody else did, but I ended up having to do things a different way. Was an early parent, you know what I mean, things of that nature. So fatherhood was more important and vital to me at those times, and decided to continue doing what I was supposed to do on the court, which ultimately got me to the place I am now, and just in training, starting a business called Next Level, training and building athletes mentally and physically where they're supposed to be at, and getting them to the next level, um, so they won't have to take the journey that I took, and they can have the platform that they need to have in order to make it to the next level.
Facts, because hey, speaking of next level, got to represent next
That
level for this episode because you got to let them know what it is.
that part,
Hey,
absolutely.
they may be asleep, but we gonna wake them up though
Gonna wake
too.
them up. We gonna wake them up. You better believe it. You better believe it.
So, what was the inspiration? So, you mentioned like next level. You started next level because like you wanted to take the clients and the kids to the next level where they don't have to go through what you went through. Um, so, how important is it to see like say all the kids that you like say train and to see them like bloom beyond to where they are right now?
Well, it's definitely been a blessing. I mean, this is my 11th year with Next Level. From seeing kids, inner city kids like Malik Jacobs, leave Hanover, went to Bull City Prep, um, going to winning a state and national championship his first year there, uh, going to Indian Hills, and then going to Kent State, uh, and having a phenomenal career there. Seeing Capria Presley. 3 years off of basketball, going to be a JUCO All-American, seeing Katisha Hyman lose 83 pounds in the summer, being a JUCO All-American, then going to Fayetteville State, winning CIAA championship and winning MVP, seeing Dante Tatum take Cary High School to a state championship, going on Division I, winning some JUCO championships, seeing one of my favorites, Khalil Marshall, being an average kid from the city, then going and playing on a national level, playing against guys like Jeremy Roach, Jonathan Kaminga, Jalen Green, and doing great. Seeing guys make slam, ball is life. Um, just kids, average kids from Wilmington, different storylines. It's just been a blessing to be a part of that. Um, some kids did take a different path, but it's still a blessing because they've learned from those things. A lot of kids and athletes that were that didn't get a chance to play are doing other things that uh, I should say that still keep them around the game. Whether it be coaching, whether start training like a kid like Brady Rankin, who went on and played Division II basketball. Now he's doing skill development in Wilmington. Trained him for 7 years. It's just been a lot of kids that came through the program that have done a lot of great things. Another one, Brianna Baham, being a Duke All-American at BCC, then going on to Pembroke and play. It's just been a blessing to be a part of these athletes' lives. Um, being able to mentor them and guide them in different ways, playing at a Division I level and playing at a Division II level, playing at the JUCO level, and still being successful.
For sure. And like a lot of people, I know you see a lot of people like downplay JUCO Division II, Division III, thinking like, oh, it's below their expectation because it's not Division I. How would you explain to them how much of a blessing it is to even receive like the opportunities to receive, say, like those divisions? Because it's so hard to even receive those anyways.
Um, being a JUCO product, a lot of people don't understand when you play high level junior college ball or lower level junior college ball, you're dealing with phenomenal athletes who either were hidden or they didn't get a chance to uh, to play because they were under recruited or they weren't on the right AAU circuit or their coach wasn't working hard enough for them or they just struggled academically or either they had uh, a character problem, whether it be attitude or things of that nature. So it's a blessing to play at that level because you still have phenomenal athletes that you come across that end up playing NBA, WNBA, Division I, still playing at a high level. I feel like I've seen D3 guys kill D1 guys. I've seen D2 girls kill Division I girls and WNBA girls. So being able to play at any level collegiately, like I feel like it's a blessing. Um, playing in different pro-ams, playing in different tournaments and things of that nature that have all those levels in it, you'll see different guys and girls match up, and you wouldn't even believe the difference between a JUCO player and a Division I player. Um, it's a blessing. Like it's a blessing. People shouldn't take it for granted. Seize the opportunity, especially now with the transfer portal. Everybody, if you're not a 3-star or up, you're not going to get that Division I look or that Division I or that Division II look. Being that they're going through the transfer portal to get these kids and these athletes and things of that nature. So, if you get a division like I've had guys like Derek Gardner come through next level, played at Central Carolina Community College, first team all conference. Division III JUCO All American, can shoot with the best in the country. You know what I mean? So is Jaquan Moore had 13 Division I offers last year. He's playing Division II now, but averaging right about 14 to 16 points a game. Probably gonna be playing Division I next year after he gets in the portal. But it just explains the levels of basketball sometimes are no different unless you're talking Power 5, things of that nature. There are athletes everywhere. There are athletes everywhere. And if you can play, you can play.
For sure. And you being a father too, like I seen you like train your kids to like have them in the gym, especially your oldest son. Like all of them they're so talented. I just want to say shout out to you because you don't see a lot of like say just the belief that fathers have in their sons, especially if they see them work so hard and like they take the game so seriously. And the fact that you be teaching them how like great Kobe was because
For
they
sure.
they don't understand how great Kobe was, but like what is it about Kobe that like really inspired you, and do you feel like his inspiration and like the mentality has kind of applied to the of next level training?
Kobe's my favorite player. Always been. Uh, Try to kind of mimic my game from him and stuff. If you look at my highlights and things of that nature, um, he just it was about his work ethic. Kobe didn't have the vertical that Vince Carter, Michael Jordan, some of the phenomenal athletes have. He didn't have the big hands like Kawhi Leonard, Rondo, MJ, things of that nature. He wasn't as fast as John Wall or, some Russell Westbrook or explosive like Derrick Rose. But his work ethic and his mentality separated him from everybody else. Same as me. I wasn't always the most athletic guy on the floor. Um, I wasn't always the biggest, fastest, strongest. But just the will to win and compete and know that I was gonna be there. You know what I mean? And I say this all the time. My kids joke around me. I hate losing more than I like winning. You know what I mean? So um, that's the mentality I brought to the next level. A lot of people can't train with me. A lot of people don't train with me because my workouts are to see if you're going to be mentally tough. I've seen the most talented players fail or quit or lose games just because they're not mentally tough. So I feel like if you can get through a next level workout, um, if you can be that caliber, you have to be that caliber player to get through a next level workout. It's not going to take the average player. You got to be mentally tough. You got to fight through adversity because I often say basketball transitions into life. You know, you're going to face things in life. You got to keep pushing. You're going to get tired in life. You got to keep pushing. Everybody's not going to like you. Everybody's not going to support you. Everybody's not going to have your vision. But you got to keep pushing. And the ones that keep pushing and don't stop and continue to pursue greatness are the ones that ultimately make it. So you might hit those bumps in the road and a little adversity, but you got to be mentally and emotionally tough to get through certain things in life. I'm a firm believer in that. Even with my kids, I'm very hard on my son. Even my oldest, I'm super hard on him because he's not only gonna be an athlete. He's gonna be a husband one day. He's gonna be a father one day. He might be a coach one day. And you got to be able to display a certain level of mental toughness to get through certain things. And everything's gonna be on your shoulders. You know what I'm saying? As a man, so I try to bring that to my program. More than anything, mental toughness. That's why most of the storylines or people that come through next level is mostly unconventional situations, whether they've took time off and they bounce back, or they didn't have the support at home, but God has made it a way for them to still get through that adversity and still make it. So that's one of the things that I'm very proud of. Stamping on next level. Like if you know you're a next level kid, I hear it all the time. Like if I get a call from Fayetteville or Raleigh or Charlotte, like hey Q, I need somebody from your stable. I need somebody from next level because I know they're a dog. You know what I mean? I know they're mentally tough. I know they're not the average athlete. I know they can come to my program at a prep school or college and perform right away. So I take a lot of pride in that. It's unfortunate I don't get to train everybody, but I try to keep mine to a minimum so I can put everything I have in those athletes and they can be the best players they can be.
For sure. And man, because I remember earlier you mentioned about MP Park. You got your scholarship from MP Park. A lot of people don't understand how crucial MP Park
For
was.
sure.
Like back in the day before they just renovate everything, it was in the front.
Right.
Like you couldn't. Nobody. It wasn't just any Tom, Dick, and Harry coming in.
That's
You had
right.
to. You had to like be tough. You had to realize how like you had to catch on the speed and play the game and folks understand if you lose, you lose. You gotta wait till probably like 15 more minutes to get picked
If
up.
you lose at MP Park, you probably had to wait an hour and a half to play again because if you're not a stud, nobody's gonna pick you right back up. If you don't got next, you're gonna be waiting for a long time. You had to be a dog. You had to play on the first court, play on the second. Anybody that played, we call that the D League. You played on the other court. So it was for God to be able to still give me an opportunity from there because I was done playing after being injured. Story of my life, but being injured and having a son early, and you know what I mean. That's one of the reasons I came back from playing professionally. Just not wanting to raise my kid over a phone, but being a father and trying to raise them, being in front of their face. So just pouring everything I got into them. From a playing standpoint, the understanding the business side of it, the understanding the political side of it. Um, a lot of the people don't understand those certain things. So being able to be back here and teach them those things and teach them that, hey, just because you're the best in Wilmington or just because you're one of the best in Wilmington doesn't mean that you're the best everywhere else. You still got to continue to put in work, stay humble, um, and understand that somebody's working just as hard as you in another state, in another county. Somebody else doesn't have their mom and their dad, so that's their only way out. Um, they don't understand. You know what I mean? You're fortunate enough to go to the store and get the shoes you want and play on certain levels. And this kid,
Oh, oh man, QuAndre, you got. Uh-oh. What's it called? You got cut off. Uh-oh.
you got me here at.
There you go. Okay, I was like, uh-oh. Oh, there you go. I can't hear you. I can't hear you. I can't hear you. I'm there. I can't hear you. No, you're on mute. Oh, no. Oh. Let me see. Try to say something. No. Oh, okay. We having technical difficulties, y'all. Come back. Woo. Hey, y'all. Hey. We having technical difficulties. We having technical difficulties. So, QuAndre should be back. But so far, hey, hold on. All right.
Yeah, you hear me now?
Yes, yes.
Okay, yeah. Sorry, I had a phone call, but just back to that. Just you're gonna face those dogs, man, and a lot of people give their kids and these athletes unrealistic, or they have unrealistic expectations, or don't understand the demographics of certain kids and certain athletes and what they do to make it.
Because it's like folks don't understand, like when it comes to your workouts, because I worked out like a couple times when I came down to Wilmington, like when it's fierce, it's like literally hardcore, like it's like it's almost like preparing for college basically, because folks don't understand the work you put in, like, you know, because Lord have mercy, when I worked out with you, like I was like, look, I know I'm pushing, I know I'm in the 30s, but still I'm trying to play. I have a goal. And the
Right.
fact that you took me in, like saw me how serious I was like, yo, thank you, Jesus.
For
Like,
sure.
cause
Sure.
and my question is, since you played overseas, what would you say is the misconceptions of overseas?
Um, different leagues, different levels, uh, language barriers, um, getting paid on time sometimes not getting paid on time. The difference, the distance between you and your family, the things that people don't even know that goes on over there. Like, you know what I mean? So people paint this picture of, oh, you're playing overseas, so it's this, that, and the third, but it ain't always what it seems. Just it's tough. It's tough. My stint, you know, even being in Bishkek, certain different places I played at, my stint just going through injuries. There are times like I was I was so injured that had shin splints real bad where I had to take a lot of different. I was on a lot of different meds just to make a check, to make sure my son and my children's mom was good and things of that nature. Being away from them was tough. Practices, especially in Mexico, we didn't have the best conditions. Practicing on concrete floors. I mean, given if you're not in a top league, you're trying to move up, and even in certain top leagues, it's tough. You know what I mean? So people don't understand that they just see overseas or players paint the picture that playing overseas is this, that, and the third. But if you're not getting to the bag, if you ain't performing at a high level, if you're not competing against high level athletes, you might as well be home. You know what I mean? So, like, I'm not trying to reinvent the wheel or create a narrative of everybody else's experience, but they're good days. You're paid to play basketball. They're great days, but there are also different circumstances that you have to go through while playing over there. But I did have fun. Um, Enjoyed the experience of seeing other countries, other cultures, um, different things that they have to adapt to each and every day. Made me appreciate life more than what I have here in the States. Uh, and just understanding that other guys that are just as hungry as you are coming from other places trying to fulfill their dreams as well. So
So how do you, my question is, because you're a fabulous father, you're a great father, and a lot of people need to understand how great of a father you are, especially like the fact that like you just have your kid, you know, that basically having like giving the advice to your sons and just believing in them and just, you know, for them to look up to you. My question is, how do you like balance fatherhood and training all at once?
it's tough. It's extremely tough, Ash. I'm glad you asked that because even as a trainer, more so as a father, you have to set certain boundaries, and you have to look in the mirror a lot. Uh, Sometimes I know I can probably be overwhelming to the boys as far as training, and sometimes it carries over in the fathership. So what I've learned to do, and what me and my sons have established, is once we leave the gym, we're no longer whatever happened in that gym, whatever happened in that game, whatever happened in that workout, we don't bring with us. You know what I mean? Now it's daddy time. Now we're gonna go eat wings. Now we're gonna laugh and joke. Now we're gonna watch highlights. Now we're gonna watch a movie. Now we're gonna pray. Now we're gonna do those different things. You know what I'm saying? That a father should have. And if I do talk about the game, it's right there in the gym. When we get in the car, we're not talking about it anymore. You know what I mean? So there's no car talk against any coaches or what they should have did or how the game should have transpired. Right after that game, I have that initial conversation with them, and I say, hey, look, this, that, and the third. Then I leave it at that, because they got to be kids too. I got to be a regular person too. But the biggest thing to separate with everything is understanding that they need their time with their father as well. So in the midst of me training other kids, uh, taking kids to camps, taking kids to clinics, taking kids back home, or buying them food, or getting them shoes, or different things that comes with, my program. I still got to be there to say, okay, how you doing in school? You know what I mean? How's your mental health? How's your emotional health? Anything that you feel like dad needs to improve on. I know growing up, I didn't get my parents saying those type of things. You know what I'm saying? It was either just do what you say, do what they say, and then move on. But just getting that time to, do things in a different way as a parent. Like, hey, amazing. What you think dad need to improve on? What you think, what do you feel like you've learned today in that session? What do you feel like you're improving on in life? Uh, what are your dreams and goals outside of basketball? If basketball was to go left, what do you want to do now? Do you see yourself training? Do you see yourself coaching? Do you see yourself being a official? Um, I know my son likes graphic and design. He loves graphic and design. So one of his schools, he knows Nike is Oregon's. Well, Oregon's is the big factory for Nike. So one of his schools, he's thinking about playing at his Oregon. So like just knowing those type of things. What other things that graphic and design? What can that lead to? Well, you can be a barber. You can be a tattoo artist. You can be different things that those things entail. So I mean, just having those conversations with my sons, and uh, trying to separate the training from fatherhood. Sometimes it's become a lot easier. It hasn't always been easy, because you're trying to push your child to be better than you, or have more mental capacity than you, or more mental toughness than you, or things that you lack. You want to see them be strong in. So uh, sometimes it's hard, but I've gotten a lot better at that, and understanding that they don't need their coach all the time. Sometimes they need their father. And then that doesn't mean I'm gonna slack up in that gym though. You know what I mean? So that's pretty much it when it comes.
For sure, because like that was a great answer. Because I was like, yo, this is definitely need this insight, because in case whenever I become a mother one day, hopefully, and if I want my child to be trained and like, look, I love you, but you gotta put the work in. I didn't
Right, for sure.
So like this ain't gonna come easy. I may know certain people, but you gotta put the work in. So, but what? So we also be talking about women's basketball. What is it about women's basketball that like just opened your eyes and just kind of got you into it, and like what are some players from the women's basketball world that you really, really admire?
Well, my sister is Shamika Randall, so just watching her going to Tennessee games, watching her compete, watching her play against the Dawn Staleys, the Diana Taurasi's, the Sue Birds, the Lauren Jacksons, um, being one of the first women to dunk with Michelle Snow. I mean, coming from that basketball pedigree and understanding that, like, they compete at another level. And now they're just as skilled, if not more skilled, than men. Um, they're dunking more, they're more athletic, they got more in their bag with ball handling and creativity. And I'm big on that type stuff because basketball is evolving to a positionless sport. You got 7-footers that can do what 6 foot and 6'5" people can do. So I mean, I love that's the admiration I have for it, like where it's come from and to where it is now, and appreciating that and appreciating just the work that the females are putting into it. Like I said, I've had girls come through my program that are all Americans and that were very skilled and that accomplished a lot of things. Charity Powell, Charity, like I said, Katisha Harmon, Capri, and Brianna Bayham, and now they paved the way for the Anish Lewises, the Bree Stanleys, the Tristan Shivers, and the Jakaisi Gardners. You know what I mean? The Mackenzie Mortons, the Ariana Grahams, like you know what I mean? It's just they paved that way, and to see these girls start to be a little bit more skilled than those girls that came through the program at a younger age is probably going to have more opportunities to play at a higher level despite their size. It's going to be a blessing as well. As far as the WNBA, I can't think of the girl for the wings, but the guard.
Arike Ugabawali.
Oh my gosh, I love her. Like bucket, skilled, uh, skilled, like extremely skilled, extremely high IQ, creative, dog. Like I know you would know who she was, but she's one of my favorite players. Um, the girl from USC, of course, Caitlin Clark. Just
Oh,
seeing the
Juju
way
Watkins from
Lucy
USC.
Watkins, yeah, just seeing the way the game has evolved with women's basketball. But I love it. I love it from the old school to the new school. I love it. I love it, and I'm a fan.
For sure. And it's crazy that Juju Watkins scored 51 points, and that's the most in both Division One and for men's and women's so far this season.
For
And
sure.
to see that to me is just so monumental. And a lot of people don't know, like, that's the highest since Lane Deladon's 54 points back when she was in Delaware. And
Right.
for the folks that don't know, here's a little history lesson. Samika Randall was part of the three meeks of the Tennessee. So she was part of the three meeks with Shamik Holesclaw and Tamika Catchings that won the 2 national championships with Pat Summer, including that undefeated season. They had the hardest schedule during that season, too.
Absolutely. Absolutely. She's encouraged me. She's encouraged me a lot. She's been a big inspiration. She's also tough nosed. You know what I mean? So Charity actually went and played for her at Winthrop University last semester. Probably her best collegiate season ever. So I mean, she's been nothing but a blessing. Even to get some guidance from her and understand the business and certain things like that is truly been a blessing. Um, Another one of my outside of women's basketball, out there where you are in Charlotte, another one of my best friends, brothers, mentors, close friends has been Tamar Slay. Um, hopefully we can get tomorrow on the Bonafide Her podcast here soon. But he's been nothing but a blessing to me. Um, learning from him. He always says he's learning from me, learning from each other, and being loyal and just working from the bottom. You know what I mean? Is it's been a blessing.
For sure, because to Marsley, if you're hearing this, hit QuAndre up so he can help me connect with you. So,
For sure, for sure. That's big bro.
man, just to, it's crazy to see like the women's game evolve, and like a lot of people don't remember that the NCAA tournament for the finals between Iowa and LSU the viewership was real high. Like it
For
was
sure.
even higher than the men's ones last year when the men's had like UConn and San Diego State. So like, what do you hope to see like more in the women's basketball area, and how can people really support it, like actually support it?
Um, going to games, like going to games. I would love to see more sponsorship. I would love to see more men's basketball players support um, women's basketball. Um, that's pretty much it. The sponsorship and the support, man. And the way to support it is by following them on their social media platforms, actually going to the games and see them play. Um, a lot of women's basketball players are putting out more basketball shoes and things of that nature now, and apparel. Cop that stuff instead of copying the Nike or the designer stuff and all that type of stuff. We got to learn how to support each other and athletes. And being that now more athletes can build their own brand, I feel like we should support that more. We should support that more.
Do you think that NIL has should have been like implemented a long time ago?
Absolutely. Absolutely. I feel like it should have been implemented a long time ago. I feel like being that the NCAA is a nonprofit, um, that it, these players deserve that because we're going to see them. We're not going to see Duke, or we're not going to see Clifton, or we're going to see those players that are on the court. If one of these schools have a down year where their recruitment is like not like that, I mean, we're not going to go see it. Not unless you're just a true fan or alumni of that school. One of the things I do admire now is that more players are going to mid majors, more players are going to uh, schools in their hometown so people can support, and more players are not trying to make these super teams, which means that they got to compete. So they're not teaming up with this, that, the third, make this super team. But I want to play against that guy. I know me coming up, going to prep All Star, Sean Wiseman, Bob Givens, Elite All Star Camp, uh, being matched up against Darius Johnson Odom or Brandon Jennings or uh, Eric Maynard or Jamal Schuler or like you know what I mean, just playing against those type like you want smoke. You don't want to sit there and play join the team. You want and that says a lot about uh it says a lot about your character. It says a lot about your heart and what you're willing to do to even get better. So I feel like that's a big thing with the NIL too, because it's offering more money at different schools, of course, and these kids are now being able to uh, navigate more playing where they want to play at and things of that nature. So,
Man, because like how many people were probably paying some of the folks under the table to like
absolutely,
go to these certain schools, and then all of a sudden they're just one and done say, Good luck.
Right.
So,
All right. Right.
and like, it's crazy how like even some people are still mad about. Well, I just think the NCAA, the folks that they they still mad that the players finally getting paid, but they always add this stipulation like this is what you really need to do and all this stuff, and it's like just say y'all mad, like just say y'all mad that the players finally getting their cut because y'all was, you know, y'all was making money off their backs.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Jersey sales, ticket sales, everything. Like what they get at the most, a couple of pair of sneakers, a couple of pair of sweatsuits, and a limited meal card, and you know what I mean, things like that. But compared to $15,000 or $20,000 that was raised in one day for that game that people paid to come see a rivalry game or something like that. You know what I mean? So
From like when you were a student athlete, what did you feel like people didn't understand the student athlete schedule, like how where you know what's it called, how they can like say understand that student athlete is actually a job and not just like a role.
for sure. So definitely at TCI, you're getting up, you're waking up. At me personally, I'm waking up in Brooklyn, New York, having to catch the train to Manhattan, to go to school every morning, go to my classes, leave my classes, come back to Brooklyn from Manhattan to either go to Brooklyn or to Coney Island where Sebastian Telfair played and Lance Stevenson, go to practice, run 16 flights of stairs for cardio, run to Long Island Beach, run to Brooklyn Bridge for cardio, come back, get my schoolwork done, then repeat, of course, get on the phone, spend some time with my son, then you gotta eat, gotta have study hall, and then you right back at it again the next day. So just me having to commute from Brooklyn to Manhattan to Coney Island or back to Brooklyn, whether it be for games or practices or conditioning, like on the weekends, like we're running the Brooklyn Bridge. Some people drive over every day for cardio. I mean, it was a lot. It's a lot, and I don't think people understand what a student athlete actually entails. They just think you're playing games and go to practice. So that's another thing that I try to incorporate my workouts. Just excuse me, doing things in a timely fashion, making sure that workout is intense enough to understand what you're gonna get through on the college level. Like you're gonna get that type of workout. You know what I mean? On top of the practice. You know what I mean? And if you're at the JUCO level, you have colleges coming in practices damn near every day, looking at you play. So you still trying to you can earn a scholarship in practice. You know what I mean? So you definitely want to take your practices serious. You definitely want to be mentally engaged, and you definitely want to understand like everything you do counts. If you miss a practice, it counts because if you miss a practice and that person behind you perform, now you're behind the eight ball. You know what I mean. Now you're in a situation where you can be over recruited. So it's no, you have to sacrifice time with your family. It's no hanging out, going to the movies or this, that, and the third. And parents and players, they have this misconception that, oh, you still got to be a kid or you still got to, like, no, that's not the case. That's where the sacrifice comes in at. And if you don't start teaching them that young, no, NBA players play on Christmas Day. Like, you know what I
That'd
mean?
be the most
Like,
amazing time too. I ain't gonna
you
lie.
know what I mean? Like, it's no, oh, this weekend I want to hang with my sister, or this weekend I want to hang with grandma, or this weekend, I want to hang with this person, or I want to take this day off because my foot hurt. Like, no, you got arms. You know what I mean? Like, no, you can watch film and your eyes work. No, if you're injured, you can go to the weight room. there's always something that you can work on.
For sure.
My assistant coach Kevin Jackson, I started as soon as I got to TCI, and I mean we're nationally ranked. Like, you know what I mean? And I rolled my ankle in practice. My ankle was swollen, and we get to the Brooklyn Bridge on a Saturday morning. Kevin Jackson is like, Coach Purnell, QuAndre said he can't run because his ankle is swollen. And the first thing Coach Purnell says him is, well, if he don't run, he loses his starting spot. So I run the Brooklyn Bridge in my flip flop. You know what I mean? And get back before 90% of the players came back third. So like you gotta understand, like these coaches don't care, their jobs are on the line.
For sure.
I mean, you gotta fight through it.
First of all, before I respond, I just want to say it's Brooklyn in the
For
house.
sure. For sure. That's right. That's right.
I just wanted to. I've been holding it. I was about to say that or Brooklyn go hard.
Right.
I wanted to say one of those things before.
That's right.
I've been wanting to say that for the longest time while I was holding it in, but I was like,
Let it out. Let it out. That's right.
yo, but like, you know, it's crazy because even when I was a manager for UNCW, like honestly, balancing that and going to practice, helping in school, like folks didn't understand. Like I already knew how the student athlete schedule was. The work study. Then sometimes you had to miss practice or conflicting schedule of practice with classes. Like some of them had to leave early, some of them had to, and some people didn't understand too. Like scholarships only paid for your books and classes. It didn't pay for your meals. It didn't pay for, say, like your housing. So you had to figure out certain ways. And like, yes, everybody had a stipend too, but a stipend really didn't.
Yeah, I had a kid. I was sending my stipend back home. So I still had to do laundry. I still had to eat. The only thing that covered we got meals at the school. You know what I mean? But what happens when you leave the school? Like, you know what I'm saying? So
Man. So
student loans though, no student loans.
blessings. Blessings. No student loans. Hallelujah. So my question is, I always ask my guests this because so the word bona fide means authentic and unique. So, great question. Here's your question for you, QuAndre. Shout out to Tangerine Thomas. Hey girl, hey. So she wants to know how old were you when you became a dad, especially during your playing time?
19.
Oh, you were a young dad.
Yeah, a lot of sacrifices. Yeah. Yeah, so that's
Bless
why.
you.
Yeah.
Bless you.
That's one of the reasons I came back home. Well, one of the main reasons I came back home from college. I felt like, yeah, I was on scholarship. Yeah, definitely had schools at me, Maryland Eastern Shore, Texas Pan America. Right, like a lot of people wanted me out of TCI, but it was just a point of like getting back home to my son. Flying back home every month wasn't enough. You know what I mean? So I took that more into consideration.
Man. But, woo, that's a whole lot of sacrifice. I felt that now. That's why now I see why you go hard every day, because letting folks know, like, man. So
yeah, if like I would have kept going that route, there's no telling where QuAndre would be. But there's something you can't get back is time. You know what I mean? So I value time and I value the people in my life to the utmost. Like I'm very family oriented. So at the end of the day, like God has blessed me with numerous opportunities to play at certain levels for a lot of money. I mean, but like it's money can't buy time, man. And like money can't buy time, and I wouldn't change my decision to this day. A lot of people ask me, like, stop playing in this, stop playing this early age and things like that. What would you change now? I wouldn't change anything because just seeing my sons play and seeing how much they've grown. If I wasn't here, if I was playing in the league or if I was still playing overseas, there wouldn't be a Capria Presley. There wouldn't be a Katisha Hyman. There wouldn't be a Dante. There wouldn't be a Malik Jacobs. There wouldn't be a Derek Gardner. There wouldn't be a Brady Rankin. There wouldn't be like a Samir Gibbs. There wouldn't be people that have went on and had degrees and playing at a Rodell Cambridge or Jaden Parker or I could go on and on and on with next level for the last 11 years. But if I kept playing, if I wanted to do what QuAndre wanted to do instead of what God, like divine purpose was for me, it wouldn't be those athletes wouldn't have accomplished certain things they would have accomplished.
Facts. And man, our girl said, good for you to go ahead and get in that car, going to college and coming back to the present in your child's life, man. Man.
For sure, I appreciate that.
So, QuAndre, I always ask my guests this because, as I said, Bonafide means authentic and unique. So my question is, what makes QuAndre Dixon Bonafide, and how does your story stand out from others?
I think everything about QuAndre, even from my name, is just it's unorthodox, or you know what I mean. Like I said, sometimes I feel like my life is a movie. I like to do things differently. I like to set different trends, and I'm always gonna be me. There's nothing. I'm not gonna be commercial. You've been to my workouts. It's nothing gonna be commercial about me. And if you're looking for somebody to pat you on the back or tell you what you want to hear versus what you need to hear, or even my transparency, I'm always gonna be transparent. I'm always going to try to get out of the best of the people around me. It doesn't necessarily have to be in basketball. My friends, significant other, mom, brother, sister, I'm always going to try to get the best out of the people around me. And I just try to let my light shine in that way. And it may not always be the correct way. It may not always be the way that people want it or desire to have it. But I'm always going to be me. I'm going to love hard, and I'm going to give you everything I got, even the shirt off my back. So me, it's all about just love unconditionally and pouring everything that I got into everybody around me. And sometimes it takes a lot out of me, but that's what made me Bonafide. You know what I mean? For sure.
Amen. You ain't saying nothing but a word. Hey.
Sure.
Well, let me say what up. Is Brooklyn in the house?
You better believe it. You better believe it.
So, QuAndre, can you let the folks know how and where they can support you, and if there's anything coming up next for you?
I'm gonna leave off by saying, of course, you can hit me up on IG, Quan_the Gibbs Dixon, Facebook, QuAndre Dixon. You can find me up there. Next level, Dixon Athletics. Bringing a prep school, a prep team to Wilmington this season. So one of the reasons that I want to bring a prep school here is because so many athletes have a false narrative of how good you have to be to play at the next level and understanding that you don't get nights off. So stay a team like Hanover, great team, a lot of good athletes, great athletes. They get a chance. They don't get a chance to play the upper echelon of basketball talent throughout the state. They don't get that platform. So what I'm bringing with Next Level Prep back to the city is we're going to play the Word of Guys. We're going to play the Bull City Preps. We're going to play the the team one of ones out of Charlotte LaMelo Ball teams. We're gonna play the Moravian Preps. So what that does is give athletes from Wilmington a different mindset. It shows them that there's other talent out there besides playing Laney or Topsail or Ashley or South Brunswick. A lot of these teams that don't stand a chance against. Well, I'm not gonna say Laney. Laney's doing great, doing great this year. Uh, Coach Danielle is doing great. BJ Danielle is doing great with them, but other teams that don't have the talent, you know what I mean? So what I'm doing is bringing that talent here to the city and allowing our players to play against that type of talent every night, so they understand what it's like to be a college athlete and to play against other college athletes. Uh, in our conference down here, you might be playing against soccer players, you know what I mean, baseball players, guys that are not even considering taking basketball serious or playing at the next level. But when you get to the next level, everybody's playing basketball and trying to make it to the next level. So you just bringing that dynamic in Wilmington and putting Wilmington back on the map, getting college coaches back down here to this area. I feel like for the last 11 years, I've sent a lot of talent out to prep schools and the private schools, and so they can get the platform that they need. And now I feel like the talent we don't have to send out anymore. I can kind of harness that talent and make sure that Wilmington's on the map now. They don't have to leave home, and we can put a team from here on the map. So that's the next thing. I'm looking to bonafide her and try to get my podcast started with the upper echelon of basketball minds around the state that I'm cool with, and just looking forward to the traveling and getting these guys Division I scholarships and getting them the platform that they need. So that's what's next with next level prep and QuAndre. You know what I mean? I'm trying to do more advisory now, and I'm not gonna say take a seat back from training, but doing more talking to the college coaches and being that advisor.
Let them know what it is. Let them know what time it is, because I could just the way you describe like what you're doing with the next level prep. You basically it describes be the change that you want to see instead of having to send folks. You go like, let me get the folks to check these out, check them out.
Right, for sure.
Man, first of all, QuAndre, thank you so much for coming on the podcast.